Be the track champion on Saturday nights here in the Legends Division. Bakaj Homes and Bakaj Construction present Lebanon, Connecticut's Mark Bakaj in the number 52. Next to him, the man who grabbed the Wednesday night portion of the Legends Championship. It is his brother in the 32. Bakaj Construction and Home Selling Team present Farmington, Connecticut's Chris Bakaj. On the inside of row number 2, driving the number 48 machine from Southington, Connecticut, it is Darrell LaPointe Jr. Working next to him, driving the 30 from Deep River, Connecticut, Wayland and Atwood Auto Appearance present Ed Field. On the inside of row number 3, driving the 17 machine, Manifold Brothers, Gray Wolf Construction, and Rock Landscape bring us Berlin, Connecticut's Jags Palmer. And to his outside, driving the 02 machine, it is Richard Doty. On the inside of row number 4, he's one of the young lions in the Legends Division. It's the number 13 for Chaplin, Connecticut's Brian Ouimet. Next to him, driving the 31 from Southbury, Connecticut, it is Michael Jarvis Jr. Ninth on our field, driving the 66, Surplus Unlimited, the Norwich Bulletin, Ace Heating and Preston Pizza present Preston, Connecticut's Art Moran Jr. Green is in the air, and the 52 of Mark Bakaj gets the jump on his brother, but hanging on his coattails is Chris. To the inside of Chris Bakaj is the 48 of Darrell LaPointe. Running in fourth is the 30 of Ed Field. Then we have the 17 of Jags Palmer, and the 02 of Richard Doughty rounds out the top 6. Mark Bakaj jumps out to a big advantage. They go into turn number 1, completing lap 1. LaPointe runs in the second spot, and now Chris Bakaj has to fight off the challenge of Eddie Field. Field powers around the outside. He'll grab the 3rd spot from Chris Bakaj. Jason Palmer in the number Jags Palmer in the 17, running in the 5th spot. Doughty in 6th, and then we have Brian Ouimet. He's to the inside of Michael Jarvis, but Jarvis now hangs on to that position as they go into turn number 3. The 52 of Mark Bakaj still beginning to pull away from the rest of the field. Darrell LaPointe, after a year off, he'll run in that 2nd spot. Then Eddie Field 3rd, Chris Bakaj 4th, Jags Palmer 5th, Richard Doughty is 6th. Then we have Mark Gervais in 7th, Brian Ouimet 8th, and the 66 of Art Moran Jr. as Dennis Pantani looks to go underneath him for the 8th spot. Checking out from the field, we have a car around in turn number 3. That is the 99 of Art Moran III, and the yellow will fly. This time, will LaPointe be able to hang on the outside? Green flag in the air. Bakaj, as it has been written before, jumps out to the lead. LaPointe follows in that 2nd spot. Eddie Field runs in the 3rd position, and Chris Bakaj is able to move into the 4th spot. Jags Palmer 5th, and Michael Gervais in 6th, as it was at the drop of the yellow. Mark Bakaj leading the way in turn number 1. Chased by the 48 of LaPointe. Now Jags Palmer looks to the inside of the 32 of Chris Bakaj. Bakaj is able to fight him off as they go into turn number 3. They'll come off turn number 4, 19 laps left. Mark Bakaj leading the way. Darrell LaPointe in 2nd, and now Chris Bakaj goes to the outside of Eddie Field. He'll look to grab the spot away as they're side-by-side off 2. Down the backstretch, still running no side-by-side as they go into turn 3 and come off turn number 4. Battle on 4-way between Eddie Field, Chris Bakaj, Jags Palmer. Trouble further back in the field as the 66 of Moran and the 7 of Justin Holmes come together, with Moran slamming the wall. Max Zackham just barely able to escape.
And the 48 of Darrell LaPointe. Now Bakaj gets moving as a green flag comes out, and he reestablishes himself in the lead. Good cat-mouse game between Bakaj and LaPointe, and the man who was able to get the job done was Bakaj. Now here's Chris moving into 3rd, ahead of the 30 of Ed Field. Field has really done an outstanding job. The 17-year-old Michael Jarvis breathing on his visor. He has moved up to 4th, so the top 5 cars can fit in a trash can. Now add 6, as here comes the 17 of Justin Palmer. They're all trying to flag down Mark Bakaj, who has opened up a pretty formidable lead over the 48 of LaPointe. Here comes Field. We thought maybe he was going to languish in 4th place. Eddie said, I have a chance to catch Chris Bakaj. He has the leverage on the bottom groove, and Chris cannot get away from him. And you see Chris really fighting the wheel. That car might be loose because he is really manhandling the wheel as he comes down the start-finish line. Almost kissed the back bumper of the LaPointe car. Here comes Jarvis on the outside, almost on cue, the 17-year-old, as he whirls and twirls his way into turn number 2. Bakaj has third, putting some pressure on LaPointe. Here is Jarvis. He might be the fastest car right now. Jarvis takes third momentarily, but when they come out of 4, Chris Bakaj has his spot back. No suspense at the front of the field. It has been a cakewalk so far for the 52 of Mark Bakaj. LaPointe in second. Here comes Chris Bakaj. He's got some room to rumble on the bottom groove. They boogie their way into turn 1. LaPointe is leading, but close enough to change the stations on his radio is Chris Bakaj in the 32. Jarvis up on the outside. He has been threatening this for about the last handful of laps. Here comes Jarvis. He gets by Bakaj. Now he takes off. He is trying to attack against LaPointe. Jarvis has it going on the outside groove as he is able to tornado his way, even with LaPointe. They come like gangbusters off the 4th corner. LaPointe has the spot, but he has to sweat, as all over him, like a tent, is the 31 of Jarvis, and Jarvis now moves into second. So from 4th to 2nd, in only 3 laps, Jarvis is a man on a mission. When they hit the stripe, they'll have 9 laps to go. Jarvis, a long way separate he and Bakaj, but he has time, better than 9 laps, and of course the old question, is Mark Bakaj saving his car for a potential late race restart, or is he giving it everything it has? Jarvis, of course, he has his hands full, holding off Chris Bakaj. That's never easy. Bakaj had a fiery 2006 season. His car even went on fire one night, but he never slowed down. He's holding on to 3rd. LaPointe in his comeback is 4th. And Ed Field, I think one of the best runs he's had since joining the Legends late in the 2006 season. He is holding his own against the experienced Jason Palmer in car number 17. The battle is for second. Bakaj is in his own solar system at the front of the field in his own congressional district, but it's a little more crowded at the front of the field. Here is the 31 of Jarvis. Right, almost like a paper clip to his back bumper is the 32 of Bakaj. LaPointe also in the vicinity, and all by his lonesome. This is almost like a time trial for Mark Bakaj. You watch those Discovery Network shows, the guys out in the wilderness with nobody around him. That's the position that Mark Bakaj is in right now. Jarvis hoping for a caution flag. So he really has 2 chances to pull out a late victory. One is slim, and the other is hope for yellow. Down to the final 3. LaPointe starting to fade a little bit from Chris Bakaj. So we have a 2-way battle for second between Jarvis and Chris Bakaj. Down to the final pair of laps. It's a coronation for Mark Bakaj.
But yet the pressure still remains for the 2nd spot. Michael Jarvis looks to hold off Chris Bakaj as they come off turn 2. LaPointe has faded in the distance. The only battle right now on the speedway is between the 31 of Jarvis and the 32 of Chris Bakaj. White flag in the air, less than half a lap for Mark Bakaj to grab the win. He will go into turn number 3 and coast off turn number 4. As the battle continues in turn 3, it is Mark Bakaj grabbing the checkered flag. Jarvis races to the stripe. He will hold off Chris Bakaj in 4th. The 48
times on Saturday nights in 2006, and he has started the season with an exclamation point. Here he is, Mark Bakaj. Well, Mark, how were you able to get your car to a high level of efficiency this early in the season?
Well, the car was really fast last year, so I just left it alone and didn't touch it. I mean, the thing was fast, so I took it out of the box and it was fast again. I can't ask for more from this car. Every time I'm out here, the thing's the fastest car on the track. I love it.
Last year you had 10 top fives in 11 races. This year you start out with a victory. How have you maintained such a level of consistency?
I just try to stay focused, try to stay smooth out there. I just stopped looking in my mirror, and once I had a lead, I didn't look back and kept on running my line, and it worked out real well for me. I got to thank my family for supporting me, Bakaj Homes, home selling team. They really make me able to come out here and have fun.
So they did their job. A virtuoso performance today for the driver of car number 52. He's off to a great season, Mark Bakaj.